Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Garb Experiment, part 2 on Kona. So we left off last episode, we just had searched around the general store.
Gilles Lachance owned the general store. That is, before Hamilton got his hands on it.
And we've just managed to get the fuel back again. We sorted all the power out and now we can fill it up. Perfect. I don't have a gas can to fill it.
Straight away where to find the infuriated Gilles Lachance. Any good investigation would have to start there.
Right then, let's continue on. If I can see. Okay. Not that way then. Right, where's my map? So, where do I need to go? Back up this way then, maybe?
Carl was beginning to know the store and its surroundings like the back of his hand. The secret had solved.
So, we've got a house coming up here on the left. We go to that one somehow. See if we can get to that one. Ah, here we go. Yeah, let's try this way. That seems like a house. So he lives here? No. Right. Oh. Maybe I should have brought the car up a bit further. Lance's house. Just grab a few logs. 1-5. Oh God.
The air was freezing, right down to the bone.
There we go. Oh God, it's happening again. Okay.
The otherworldly ice had struck again. The woman's hopes and dreams were frozen in eternity. Something was hidden under the stairs.
Okay.
The man grabbed his rifle. Carl felt a sense of dread in him.
There's nothing useful in here. Okay. So we're heading back downstairs again.
Perhaps their spousal relationship had been cooling down lately. It seemed like secrecy was commonplace in this house.
Okay. So we've got something under the floorboards as well then. Charles's diary.
His veil was lifted, and he was back to reality. A reality in which Giselle, Jill's loving spouse, was motionless, frozen in ice.
September. Mother once told me when I first met Jules that I had picked the brightest bulb of the lot. And as the years flew by, I'm seeing the truth of her words. Always trust your mother's wisdom. The blackmailing scheme is a prime example of Giles's brightness. He's like a small dog. He thinks he's bigger than he actually is. He growls, generally thinking he's scary, but everyone knows he can be pushed aside with just a little kick. He truly believes he can blackmail Hamilton, the big boss himself. It's going to be a long time in hell before my poor Giles can manage to pull off such a feat. After all, Hamilton's a rich, learned and influential man. Not only is that blackmailing idea bad to begin with, let's be honest, Giles is way out of his league, but Giles doesn't even know how he's actually going to carry this out. I don't even think he ever would. He's just throwing random threats out loud in the kitchen. He says he'll do it eventually, but I know better. Successfully blackmailing requires masterful cunning, and Giles is master of nothing. He is a slave and forever will be. I often look at the safe he keeps hidden in the fake wall in which he stores all of his incriminating documents he intends to use, and I just can't come to grips with the sheer ridiculousness of the whole thing. Okay. Looks like they were repainting the whole house. Unpacked boxes just suggest they just moved here. Painkillers? Okay, nothing else in there.
That window had seemingly been left open for a while, Carl thought. Given the punishing weather, it couldn't have been intentional.
Right. Nothing of interest there. Nothing up there. Let's keep warm though. Let's grab some more logs. Never know when we need another fire. Nice gold water bowl. Grab fire starters. Nothing in there. Nothing in there. Okay. Right then. Steak! Can we cook the steak?
The pot was cold, and the stew inside wasn't cooked. It's likely that poor Giselle was slow cooking it before she got snapped. What a waste.
Yet to find a clock that works. 3 p.m. that says.
Moving.
Or 3 a.m.
What a pleasant activity. Of course, you'll find the record player only to find the records weeks later in some random box. Carl had seen that kind of safe before. With its double-layered security system blending letters and numbers, its code couldn't be broken by the common burglar. Moving. What a pleasant activity. Of course, you'll find the record player only to find the records weeks later in some random box.
Alright then.
The general store, along with several more infrastructures in the area, had been acquired by wealthy industrialist William J. Hamilton. Perhaps the village should be rechristened Hamiltown.
Founded by betrayal, Lance, more than 20 years ago, the general store, better known as Ches Lance, is one of the Manistan's economic mainstays. Since the passing of its aged owner, however, the business wasn't as blooming as it once was. Giles Lance, inheritor of the humble establishment, had no choice but to sell everything to William Hamilton, the rich and the famous. businessman who sparked a major controversy last year when he announced the reopening and expansion of his copper mine. As of now, operations at the general store are expected to remain unchanged despite the change of hands. Giles Lance still helms the register. Okay. What? Bertrand Lance, 1948.
Many boxes scattered about. Carl didn't need to summon his detective training to quickly figure that the Lachauses had just moved in.
Right.
What a mess. Clearly, there was some major revamping work underway here. The place looked barely habitable.
We just got some dresses. We've got some more Polaroid films though. Box full of Harlequin novels.
Many boxes scattered about. Carl didn't need to summon
So
his
they
detective
didn't like the
training
look
to
of this
quickly
place.
figure that the Lachauses had just moved in. Beautiful portrait of Gilles and Giselle, bound together by the chains of conventional love.
Cigarettes. Right then. How do we open this safe? So it's ticking, but it's not. Strange. Documents. Photos. Biography. That necklace. Oh, 739. Okay. Right then. Okay, let's move on to. There we go. Shed a bit of light in here, shall we? Right then. Let's get back to my car and carry on this investigation, shall we? Try not to park my car so far away from the next house. Parked all the way down here. Ah, okay, so it tells me. Perfect. So that's the Hamilton place right up there then. Okay. So let's go check Bedard. Let's go check that house next. Should just be here on the right. See, there he goes. Whoa. Whoa. There we go. Yeah, seriously, why does he just leave it running? But okay, strange. Right, what do I check out first? House or barn? Barn. Let's check the barn out first, shall we? If I can. Yeah. Turn off that. Car's inventory is full. Ah, okay. That's what I wanted. No, not the journal. I just had the journal out. Right. Equipment. Steak. Journal, map, camera, flashlight, revolver, crowbar. Consumables, painkillers, water bottle, cigarettes. Puts my brain, or whatever that one is. I really don't know what that one is. I guess sanity, maybe. Alright, let's check in the house then. See if we've got a fire. I could start the fire maybe, and then grab the fuel and put the fuel in the car. 1554.
Carl was no burglar. He didn't need to resort to petty techniques such as window breaking to find his way in. A good detective simply looks for keys where gullible souls hide them.
What's that, under the plant? Oh, under the map.
What was even the point of locking your door if everyone hid their key in the same place? Carl was starting to feel like his investigator life lacked challenge.
Right,
the house smelled like incense, the kind that reminds you of the good Lord, of peace.
Oh, they have got a church by the door. Enough food for rough times. Plenty of food. Have we got any power in here? We got any light situation? There we go. Much
Religion
better.
was very influential throughout Quebec many years ago. Indeed, it was surprising that Carl did not come across a single chapel since arriving here.
TV is on the other side. Very true. Oh, okay. So, was that door not even locked, or...? I think... Matches? Let's take those. Or fire starters, sorry. Gotta check everything. Attach wire. Why would I need a magnet? Nothing under there. Just close that one. More Polaroid films. No sound on the line. Okay. More matches. Perfect. Steak. More steak. Right then. Well, so they obviously had a baby.
The mother must have spent her days washing the filth off her kids' diapers. Who knew that giraffes thrived in the North Pole? The craze for toys was stupefying.
Where's the light in here then? Strange.
Love of religion and ancestors was rooted deep inside the hearts of Canadians of old, to which the Bedards appeared to be closely related.
God, where is... Works of art from the future artist. There we go. We can shed some light on the situation. Mary's diary. August 16th.
Bedard had without a doubt been the closest man in the village to William Hamilton, otherwise known as Uncle Willie.
I have a diary just like Mum, and like her though, I don't wear a long face when writing, but I do love to write my thoughts about Martin most of all. I love talking about him. I think he loves me too, just like in Romeo and Juliet. People don't like it when I see him, only because he's a Blas? But just like in the story, nothing can stand in the way of true love. August 18th, I lost appetite. I can't sleep anymore. Every waking hour, intense shivers run through my body. Dad's making me see Dr. Brupri with a big with his big hands touching me everywhere, his foul breath exhaling all over my face. Yuck. I'm not sick, I'm in love. I love Martin so much. There's nothing I like better than thinking about us playing together, like we always do. I wonder if he found the key I lost the other day. He was pretty sad when I did, because it's for his dad's garden shed, and Martin has always been afraid of him. I think Martin's dad is a bit like Dad's god. The key fell in the burrow next to the shed. Poor Martin, he cried like a baby, but I still love him. Okay. So we've got nobody in this house.
Carl wasn't desperate enough to invade a village woman's privacy.
Okay. Shed some light on the situation though.
The perfect cookie-cutter Catholic family, most likely attending church every Sunday.
So we need to, I guess, search everywhere. Is that my footprints? I think it is, isn't it? Right then. Where to next? Can I put anything in the boot? Or trunk even? Deposit. Hardware. Pliers. Pinches. Painkillers. First aid kit, maybe. Logs are taking up a lot of room. There we go. Let's grab this fuel can if we can then. Pull. Perfect. Got ourselves a fuel can now. There's nothing in here though. Pretty sure I haven't missed anything apart from an empty bottle. Yeah, I think that's it really. I checked all these. No, I didn't check all these actually.
A true Catholic always strives to keep lowly temptations at bay. Obviously, Carl thought,
looks like someone had
in
to
this
hide
house
their
wasn't
habits.
doing a good job at upholding the Holy Bible's teachings. An aging car was parked here. Carl could picture the notary's heavy sedan with a huge back seat large enough to fit the whole family.
Alright then. So what was that small key for then? No loose change in the cracks. The TV doesn't work. How do they draw the sun? Oh yeah. Why are all the doors shut again? Okay. Well, we've got the key anyway. So... anything else about here? And that's it, really.
Carl smiled at the sight of the nicely protected garden. Hopefully, the Bedards had managed to dig every last potato out before the sudden snowfall.
Okay. To the next house then, shall we? again, it's just up the road, which is good. Where are we going this way? Let's head up the road then. Roy's house. Alright then, let's see what Roy's house has to offer. We fled, it was getting too dangerous. More people live in Northminster. It will be safer there. Janine Roy. Oh, just an empty bowl. Okay.
It was a classic Canadian house, except for the absent horde of kids that would normally be swarming about.
Alright, got self a fire, nice. Have we got power? I think. Oh. Another pantry stocked up nicely. More fire starters. There you go, there's a light. Perfect. Let's see what we're doing now. Yeah. Nothing in the oven. Well, there is a pot, but I can't expect it. No! Matches. Perfect. I need a lot of matches. Fill up the war bowl. Okay, nothing of use. There could be more steak in the fridge. Wow, very well stocked fridge. Since they were leaving town. Don't know what I expect to find in all these kitchen cupboards, to be honest. Let's close that one. Guess that's where I find the matches and the fire starters. Oh, cookie jar is always too high to reach. Yeah.
The couple radiated something akin to lightheartedness, to freedom. Perhaps some people out there truly found a way to live happily ever after.
Nothing. Oh, more painkillers. Fill up the water bottle. We got here then. Wow. First time he met Beatrice. However, she unexpectedly revealed her troubled origins and Marthina. She was adopted at the age of 4, and recalling her former life still gave her a hard time. She played the piano in so graceful a manner that people often thought she may be a natural offspring of a musician virtuoso. She always cried before falling asleep, torn from the inside by a dreadful pain she couldn't explain. She confided to him so profoundly that Marthina couldn't get enough, coming back every night to learn every single thing of what would come out of that delicate mouth. After pulling one last breath out of it, every night he reflected on what the death of Beatrice would mean in terms of losses to humanity, common heritage, be it a sound of her sobbing or of her piano melodies, compulsive tapping of her long index finger on her temple when she harboured dark thoughts, or any other little thing. It didn't matter. Everything would indiscriminately vanish. Everything, all of these thoughts made for some blissful slumber indeed. The days became weak, and before he knew it was Matthias' turn to throw his secret at her. His hopes, his cries of despair, as if throwing coins in a wishing well. She'll be dead by the end of the month, he promised himself. Okay. Joe Dash. Okay, novel page 4. The two lovebirds were still going at it 7 months later, though, confiding fears and desires alike near the fireplace several days a week. The populace took notice, and wounding words eventually found their way to Matthias's ear, prompting him to take action to prove his gentlemanship. He had asked Beatrice's hand in marriage. He would have more than enough time to kill her later. Today, when Matthew stares at motionless ceiling, just like he did 12 years ago, he still wonders what he would be removing from existence by slitting Beatrice's throat. What he would be depriving his children of. Then, as if soothed by his fantasy, he gentle drifts off, smiling the night away. Okay, that is weird. Oh. Ammo box? Novel page 2. It was around the time that Matthew met Beatrice of Midjoy's beauty at its best. The girl with the distinctive features, cheeks covered with large pox-like freckles, dew nose, oily forehead, tired but vibrant eyes, shaded red hair, slender as a child's body, chirpy laugh, you name it, the very image of innocence. That happened to be precisely the kind of victim Matthew was picturing in his mind, though. One night, as she was contemplating the ceiling from his bed, he swore to himself again and again, I'll kill her. His dreams were later filled with images of imminent crime. He had come up with a simple enough plan. One fine evening, he would visit her place to become familiar with the area's intricacies and feel closer to the impending murder, to slowly dig into Beatrice's thoughts, desires, dreams and abilities. This way he would be able to get a concrete sense of what his sinister deed would be stripping away from the very fabric of life. The whole thing would take 2 days, a week at most. The fantasy. Okay. More cigarettes. Monopoly. You were when if you pass go. Okay, there's nothing really else in here. Just those pages. What's this? Page 1? Novel page 1, yes. Oh god. Mathieu had yet to add murder to his curriculum. He was fond of new experiences, especially the most thrilling ones, and taking the life of a flesh and bone individual who the night before was still able to think, dream, fantasize, calculate, read, held the promise of an exhilarating sensation. Unlike Raskolnikov, it wasn't about axing an old Jewish hag to pieces to test someone lunatic theory. Not at all. Mathieu just wanted to know how it felt. It seemed so simple, horribly simple. He didn't have any particular victim in mind. Like most people, his desires ran quite wildly, so he only had a vague idea of them in mind. He pondered using a rifle or a knife, assassinating a young girl or an old man. He tried to focus on practicability. His victim would have to be defenseless. Bodybuilding wasn't exactly Mathieu's strong suit. He would have to act spontaneously, but not too much. He wasn't that eager to learn what spending the rest of his life in prison would be like. Some experiences carried just too high of a cost to be worth it, really. Okay, so this guy's kind of weird. Wants to kill someone. I've been in there. Okay. Right, so there's nothing really else in this room. Or building, sorry. This house. So then, let's... And there's nothing really outside, I don't think, either. There's nothing around the back. Yeah. Yeah. I've been to that cabin. So I need to head down, go to these houses over here. And these ones. Then, I guess, up to the Hamilton house. So, I've been to these three houses now. Let's hit the road, head past the general store, and go left as soon as we can. Alright then, let's go. We have a slight issue. How do we get past this tree? Can we go in one way and out the other? Yeah, we can. Alright, okay. But I'm going to leave that episode there, guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you get notified when I upload a new episode. Thanks for watching, guys.